Do you ever wonder why you mark out a POI, you're pro trend, you're very confident on the position, you might even get into the position and look for a confirmation entry, you enter into your position, and then the next thing that happens is price just goes to hell. Here are 3 reasons why your POIs may not be working. The first thing that we're going to be taking a look at is liquidity sweeps. So jumping straight into the chart here, we're going to be doing our normal analysis, we're going to be working out, right, okay, so this level here, has been broken to the downside, and then ultimately what we've done is we've ended up pushing to the upside, right? We've broken out of this level here, which is actually our break of structure, right? So that's indicating that we are then bullish on the 4-hour time frame, right? You see this little pullback here, and then you see this push to the upside. And the first thing that you really want to be doing is finding your POIs, right? So you go in here and you say, okay, well, this is my POI, okay? So you mark that out. This is going to then be your area of interest. As everyone tells you, this is a 4-hour POI, this is a higher time frame POI, so this must be a strong order block. Whether you get down onto the lower time frames and you look for a confirmation entry, or you just end up risk entering, right? We're just gonna go with the risk entry for this example. We're gonna put our entry right here, right? And then we're gonna target the most logical level, which would be this high right here, okay? So we're waiting for price to come back down into our POI to trigger us in, so hopefully we can get long. But the next thing that happens is price tags you in, and then boom, you're stopped out, right? Why does this happen? Although you're doing your analysis on the higher time frames, you've picked out your higher time frame POI, and you are actually trading with the trend, what you've failed to realize is that there has actually been a liquidity sweep. So what do we mean when we say liquidity sweep? Basically, we have a swing high or a swing low, right? And basically what we do is we draw out a line from this area here, okay? And this can be from any swing high, any swing low, okay? And what that means is the candles that pierce through that level actually close below. This then indicates to us that price has failed to then break above that level and now could potentially reverse. This is why it's so important to actually merge all of the concepts and ideas and build the narrative and understanding for why your trade should actually work, right? POIs don't just work if you just place an entry on every single one of them. You'll end up getting stopped out a lot more because you have no narrative, nothing behind it to actually back the idea up. The second reason that your POI may not actually work is because you have no internal liquidity. So looking at the same example here on the chart, we can clearly see here that what we've got on the 4-hour time frame is we've got this down close candle, we've got this push to the upside, which breaks structure, okay? We have a valid area that we can look at for a trade. If we continue looking at this on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is price has just had a very rapid push to the upside. And then what we've ended up doing is we've ended up just coming straight back to the downside, okay? So this is where we can then start anticipating that this low is actually weak, right? Then matching that up with the understanding that this is actually a liquidity sweep, it would absolutely make sense if this low gets taken out. Same again, see what we're doing here is we are merging the concepts and understandings, getting more of an understanding why something should do something, and sometimes why something should not do something, right? Being able to understand why something shouldn't do something is actually a lot better and can keep you out of a lot of worse trades than actually trying to find reasons to be able to get into the trade. If we look at the same example on the 15-minute time frame, you might be looking here saying, oh, well, look, there's equal lows being taken out here, right? And then ultimately what we've got is we've got this as inducement for when we come into this POI. As you can see, if we jump back up onto the 4-hour time frame and actually mark this POI out, and then drop back down to the 15-minute time frame, you may be looking in here saying, I want to get a confirmation entry. And look at price right here, right? What we actually have is we have this low gets taken out here, and then this high gets taken out here. This is then leading you to a fake change of character. This is where a lot of people get caught out on POIs because obviously what you're looking for is that change of character to the upside to indicate to you that price is wanting to push higher. Now, what happens when you draw out your 15-minute POI to then take your entry? Here is your 15-minute POI, right? Ultimately, what you do is once price comes back into it, you take an entry, you put your stop loss below that level here, and you're targeting up to the moon. You're targeting mainly up to this high. And then you slowly see price just trickle all the way down. And then once price gets very close to your stop loss, you're getting very anxious. You're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to get out of this trade, or it could run so far. And as soon as it gets super close, boom, takes you out. If we're looking at this price action here, we literally have no inducement that is very, very close to the POI, right? Yes, we might have this here, but on the 4-hour time frame, we cannot see anything, which then indicates to us that we've had a push straight to the upside, and then theoretically, we should have a push straight back to the downside, taking that level out. This is where inducement comes in, and this is where you are actually going to be stopped out, and the people that are not getting into this trade who understand this are actually not going to be getting into the trade and watching you and laughing. Now it's my job to make you aware of this so you can actually stop making this mistake yourself. And as we can see in this example right here, we have two opposing reasons why we should not get into this trade. So the more reasons that you can actually find to not get into the trade, to have an opposing narrative to what you want to be trading, the more trades you're actually going to keep out and the less losses you're actually going to take. And the third reason why your POIs are being taken out is because you're not understanding the higher time frame narrative, right? Basically what happens is lower time frame will follow the higher time frame narrative, right? So let's jump up onto the daily time frame, and what we can actually see here is we need to understand what phase of the market are we actually in. Something that I really want to bring your attention back to, you may have learned about it when you started learning to trade Forex, but maybe what you've done is you've disregarded it. Place your attention on this screen right here. This is something that is so basic that absolutely everyone should learn, whether you've gone through baby pips, whether you've learned through someone else. There's a broad range of ways that you would be able to learn about this. But the fact is, most people don't understand structure, and most people don't understand that this is actually a trending model. So what I would counsel you to do is to look at impulse and corrections once again. You might be thinking, well, Liam, why am I even going to be looking at impulse and correction? It's such a retail thing. Honestly, trust me, just do the work, look into impulse and corrections, and see what repeating factors that you can find inside of impulse and corrections. Start on the higher time frames. As I always say, this is always going to help you be able to understand what is actually happening, and then eventually what you can do is move down through the lower time frames, because everything is fractal, right? The reason I say to do this on the higher time frames is so you can learn it easier. Everyone wants this to be easy, oh, I've made some money here, made some money here, made some money here. It's not easy, right? So what you need to do is make it as easy as possible as you can for yourself by using the higher time frames. Learning to do what you're actually learning on the higher time frames is really going to help you, because yes, you're going to have less data, but you're actually going to have more precise moves. Less information there to actually get you confused, right? Then you can actually be focusing your attention on just this one thing. So back onto the charts, if we're looking at impulse and correction, what phase do you currently believe that we are actually in? This is going to be able to help you with your higher time frame narrative insanely, right? This is a completely different monster. There's a saying that I really like, and it's, you don't know what you don't know. The thing with the financial markets is more than likely you actually do know, right? It's right in front of your face the whole time. The way you find these things out is by focusing on the 5 core concepts, as I mentioned in my last video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. If you like, subscribe and share to one of your friends, I will give you the 5 core concepts that you really need to know to be able to enhance your trading performance. Using these 3 ideas that we've just gone over in this video is really going to help you move forward in your ability to be able to analyze the markets precisely. If this video helps you at all, make sure to let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to see how you guys are all progressing and using all of these concepts and this knowledge that I am providing for free on this YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next video.